You were a passenger in a very serious car accident here in New York, and now you want to know, why do we have to prove that the drivers who were involved are really at fault? You're just a passenger. Why do we have the obligation to show that other people are at fault when you clearly weren't? You want to know the answer? Come join me for a moment as I share with you some great information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial lawyer practicing law here in the state of New York. When you are bringing a lawsuit, seeking money, seeking compensation for the harms and injuries that were caused by somebody else's carelessness, a careless driver in this case, we have an obligation to show that we are more likely right than wrong, that somebody else was careless, was negligent. It is our obligation to do that. In law, we call that the burden of proof. You, the injured victim, has the burden of proof to show to the jury, if the case gets to trial, that other people were responsible, legally responsible, for causing and contributing to your injuries. Even though you're a passenger and you did nothing to cause or contribute to your injuries, we still have an obligation to show to the jury who was responsible. Maybe the driver of your own car was partially at fault. Maybe another driver, oncoming driver, was responsible. Maybe there were multiple other drivers responsible. Maybe there was an obstruction that may also have caused or contributed, and now we have to bring in a municipality or the state. There could be many reasons why the accident occurred, and we have to look at every single aspect of that, and then, once we determine who is actually at fault, it then becomes our obligation, even though you were a passenger and did nothing to cause or contribute to the accident. We still have to show, when your case goes to trial, that we are more likely right than wrong, that a driver in your car caused or contributed to the injuries, and that the other driver crossed over the yellow line and hit you head on. That's our obligation to do that. We have to show that we're more likely right than wrong, even though you are a passenger. Once we are able to show that other people are legally responsible for the happening of your injuries, now the case will shift and the entire focus will then be on the extent of your injuries. What type of damages did you suffer? How are you disabled? How are those injuries preventing you from doing your daily activities? And then the rest of the case will focus solely on the type of injuries you suffered. So why do I share this great information with you? I share it with you just to give you an insight and an understanding into what goes on in a car accident case here in the state of New York. Well, if your accident happened here in New York and you're contemplating bringing a lawsuit and you've got questions, what I encourage you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your legal questions. You know, there's something I do every single day and I'd love to chat with you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, @oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a great day.